Are you ready for some football? It's Sunday night and you're all ready to watch football. Your favorite football team is about to play and the national anthem is about to be sung just before kickoff. And you notice that the cameramen, they all take the spotlight away from the singer and they put it on the players, the coaches, the owners, and even the fans who have decided to kneel during this rendition of the national anthem. Some are locking arms. Some have even decided to stay in the locker room and not even come out to acknowledge at the beginning of the game. And it makes you wonder, why is this American tradition being broken? Although there is great discussion and opposing opinions on whether or not these players are disrespecting our country and our military and our national and our flag, every protester from the NFL assures that their intentions are to promote social change and inequality in their communities. Protesters of the NFL community are no longer joining and saluting the American flag and reciting the national anthem because of the presence of inequality amongst people of color, which is not what our flag represents, one individual nation. So have you wondered, how did the Star-Spangled Banner become the official anthem of the U.S.? It actually didn't become the official anthem until 1931. But before then, the anthem was first played during the Chicago Cubs and Boston Red Sox baseball game back in 1918 during the 7th inning. Fred Barbish and Travis Andrews actually reported in the Washington Post on August 30th, 2016 that it was during the 7th inning that the fans were standing up to take their usual yawn break and kind of stretch their legs and everything during the baseball game, that the band just out of nowhere started playing the national anthem. This got everyone's attention and caused them to become more alert and attentive of what was going on. The fans paid attention to the band singing the song. Even the baseball players kind of stopped what they're doing and kind of became more alert and faced the band as they played the song. And towards the end of the song, everyone had already joined in to sing the national anthem together in unison. And then after this, it became a regular thing to be played during the baseball games because coaches didn't want to be outdone by other teams. Now, this became a routine, and as it brought awareness to the players being on the ball field, it brought political awareness as well, because this was during the times of the war, and it made people wonder why these ball players were actually on the field playing baseball instead of out on the battlefield representing their country. Now, the anthem was written as a celebration for the soldiers who defended Fort McHenry amidst the strong existence of slavery in America. And some felt that it was more towards white Americans, and there was some racism involved in the national anthem lyrics. However, freed and escaped slaves fought beside whites during the war. So this represented all people coming together as a whole, one nation, regardless of color. And that is why the national anthem is more of a celebration of our soldiers, of all American soldiers, and not just whites. So why have these NFL protesters decided to start doing this now? This form of, I guess you would call it a silent protest. And it's because, as I mentioned, the inequality and the social problems that they have present in the different communities. And you would have heard of police brutality, where the police have become extra forceful against minorities. And the results of these occasions have ended in citizens being beaten, and even some instances where citizens have been killed and wrongfully arrested because of the force that these police officers have been doing on the citizens. Now, the NFL executives, owners, NFLPA executives, and the players are working to find a common ground on how to use their platform to promote these social changes, because a lot of the public are indifferent on whether or not this is a positive protesting, or if this is actually disrespect towards our flag, our nation, and our military, our American soldiers who actually as I said, defeated the British at Fort McHenry. It was actually mentioned on NBC News back on October 28th of this year that the NFL players had met with the owners over these protests. It was actually 11 NFL team owners and representatives of the leagues that huddled for more than 3 hours to try to diffuse the controversy rolling pro football over ongoing protests during the national anthem. So while they have not come up with an alternative yet, they do realize the impact that they are making because of these protests, and citizens, fans, and everyone who recognize why they're doing it have supported them in their efforts to make these changes. So originally the anthem was played at baseball games to encourage victories and motivate the players and the fans. It was written as a victorious salute to our American soldiers, black and white, who came together and defeated the British in the war. And I mentioned the protesters of the NFL community are no longer joining in the celebratory singing of the anthem and salute of the flag because of the oppression of people of color and the presence of inequality. However, they are working on a more effective way to use their platform and promote social changes. And the executives are actually listening to the issues that the players are wanting resolved and want attention brought to, so that the impact that they make on the community is actually helping and not hindering. So it doesn't look bad on us that they are doing these protests, because they can be viewed as silent, peaceful protests, and they all have these same intentions, and they all have the same intentions of what they're trying to achieve. So hopefully more attention is brought to the purpose of these protests, and not if it's actually disrespecting our nation, our flag, our anthem, our military, and it results in our nation as a whole making improvements in the equality and social injustices of our American people. And then only then will all people in our communities and in the NFL community be able to come together and proudly salute the American flag and join in reciting the national anthem, truly believing what it stands for, which is one individual nation where all people are equal. So hopefully you'll be able to see a different point of view of where these NFL protesters are coming from, and be able to understand why they are doing it, how it is a more peaceful way of doing it, and understand that they are working to come up with a more productive way to use their platform to not only promote the changes that they want with social inequality and oppression against minorities, but to actually be a permanent fix so that they won't have to continue to protest or make any protests in the future.